Chosen Vessels, what's the deal? It's your main man, Druuill, and I'm back at you again with another video. I need each and every vessel to hit that like button, hit that share button, and don't forget to subscribe. Shout out to the Galactic family. Let's get right into it. You leaving caused them to rethink everything. No one trusts them now, and they're going no contact too. When you left, people really began to open their eyes and start to see what everything was really about. You leaving showed everybody else that there was a problem. There was something wrong. No one would hear you out. Everyone thought you were overreacting, and no one really paid attention or cared what was going on. They thought it was just another one of your charades, and they thought that you were just complaining. They thought you may have had a personal problem or an issue of your own that you were taking out on this person. But none of that was the case. All right. You tried your best to be the best you could be to whomever this may have been to you. You were good to them, and you actually wanted things to work out. All right. That's what we want in life. Being able to go no contact is something we have to do. It's not something you want to do. It's something you're forced to do. All right. People should want to make things work. People should want to see if they can mend any wounds or, try to work things out with people, try to make things right, try to talk to them, see if you could talk it out, see what's on a person's mind, possibly see if you can come to an understanding with the other person. But unfortunately, it's past that. It's past you trying to find an understanding with someone who just seems to not understand. And when someone can cause harm, when someone can continue to inflict damage upon you and then act like they don't understand, that's how you know you're being that's how you know the person is trying to manipulate you. When someone keeps doing something and acts like that's not what they're doing, like they don't know what you're talking about. But now they know what you're talking about. Everyone is starting to see what you were talking about. You may have tried to warn others. You may have tried to tell other people about what was happening, what kind of person that this person might be, and you weren't out to make anyone look bad. You weren't out to try to ruin anybody's reputation. You weren't out to slander anyone, cause drama, speak illy or negatively of anyone. That's not what you do. You're not there to bash anyone. Bashing someone is not your style. It has nothing to do with the type of person that you are. But as far as you having to do what you have to do for your own sanity, that speaks for itself. You're going to naturally put yourself first in a situation that is harmful. All right. And you are trying to avoid harm in a situation. You are trying to avoid a situation that seems irreparable. It's like you tried to fix it. You tried to talk to this person, but they don't want to fix it. And on top of that, they're showing you that constantly by pretending to be unaware of what you're trying to discuss with them, gaslighting you. So when you leave, finally, everyone begins to look at the person. Because if this person is most likely, more than likely, having things to say about you because you're figuring out who they are, figuring out what kind of game they were playing all along, and you don't want any more parts of it. You see people are playing a game for longer than you'd like to play, and you eventually pull the cord out, or you eventually remove your controller from the console of manipulation because you don't want any parts of that anymore. You don't want to be used that way anymore. You don't want people to deal with you that way anymore because you realize that they're trying to severely play you. And not only that, the game that they're playing is just pure evil. So now everybody is rethinking their ties to this person. Isn't that what happens? Everyone begins to rethink their connection with this person. If you won't talk to them, and this person has all these things to say about you, so and so's up to no good, so and so is this, so and so is that, this person is that, this person is this, but you silently just remove yourself. You don't talk bad about them. You don't go calling this person names. But the only reason people tend to look at you like you may have been a problem in the matter is because of how much you had to say about this person, because it appeared that you didn't like them. It seemed like you didn't like them, but you didn't have a problem with them. All you wanted to do was fix things. And you went about it probably you just went about it the only way you knew how. Once you figured out what was going on, you probably went to some other people, tried to ask some questions, tried to see about what was happening. You probably asked people about this type of behavior, talked about what was happening, talked about how you felt about it, and then told them what this person would do. And then you would ask questions to try to figure out how to fix it. That's what we do at first. We go to others, try to see if we can solve the problem, try and see if we could make things better. But sometimes that works, and sometimes that can backfire. Because if the person is an enabler, what they're going to do is tell the person, they're going to go right back and tell them everything you said. And they're going to go back and tell this person everything you said because it's a chance that they might be a flying monkey. And a flying monkey, if you don't know, I'm sure you do by now, but if you don't know, a flying monkey is like it's an enabler. It's someone that aids in the process of gaslighting and manipulation. They spread rumors, spread lies, try to gather information, will come to you and talk to you and pretend to be on your side or for you, but they're a secret agent, a double agent. All right, they're ready to cross you over, to stab you, to double cross you, or stab you. I said cross you over. They're ready. They crossing you over. All right. AI crossover. All right. They're double crossing you, and they're ready to stab you in the back as soon as you finish speaking to them. They'll come to you pretending to be empathetic, pretending, but what you'll see with people who are gathering information or who are trying to play you and trying to mimic empathy, they're going to be playing the sympathy card. And what they're really going to be giving you is sympathy. So when someone is giving fake empathy, it's going to come out feeling, sounding, looking like sympathy, like the person is very sympathetic. So you have to be good at being able to tell the difference between empathy and sympathy, and that you already know where I'm going with that. That's going to be one of my next videos. So that's the end of that. We'll discuss that in another video. But to stay on topic for this one, when you left, people already had an idea that there was something wrong. Like, you're not the only one who can see it. It's just that you're the only one that this person has tried to get over on like this, because everybody else possibly knows this person. They possibly know to stay away from them. They possibly might know what kind of time they're on. And they don't know what's going on with you and this person, because the way they play it is it's very hidden. It's not out in the open. So they disguise their treatment towards you. And that's why it looks like you're going to have that. I mean, that's why it looks like you have the problem. And that's why it looks like you are the problem, because this person has been hiding the fact that they've been manipulative, they've been gaslighting. And this is why people will think you're the problem, because these types of characters will mimic an authentic persona to others. And what they do is they'll have other people thinking that they're perfect, they're the perfect person, they can do no wrong. Like, they try to appear like Christ-like, you know, or they'll try, if they're religious. But other than that, they'll try to appear like they can do no wrong. It's either like it's going to be like some type of superiority complex. They're either going to be like Christ-like religious and can do no wrong, or they're just going to see themselves as always right, superior, perfect, and can do no wrong. And that's because of their grandiosity. All right. They have a lot of that. So they fool people into thinking that they're perfect and that they wouldn't harm anyone, or that they're the ideal type of person, or that nothing would ever come out of them like that. So no one should ever suspect them of that. They have their ways to where they act one way with another person and they act differently with you. It's that whole Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing. So they'll act one way around their colleagues, neighbors, friends, and then when they get around you, they treat you the way that you always know them to. All right. And they'll still, to keep you around and to keep you non-suspecting, they'll be good to you, they'll be bad to you. They'll be good to you and they'll be bad to you. And we know that as being used as a punching bag. It's like if your punching bag breaks, you got to repair it. They'll repair you, keep you up, keep you upkept, say enough things to you to leave you unsuspecting, say enough things to you to keep you guessing, to make you think you're not right, to have you second guess yourself. Well, they can't be that bad. They just did this. Well, they can't be that bad. They just made me feel good. Well, they can't be that bad. They just helped me out with something that I needed. These are all tricks and ways that they manipulate people into sticking around and not cutting them off. Because if they were to go too hard, you would wake up immediately and you would cut them off as soon as possible. But people are beginning to see that this is someone that they shouldn't trust. When you leave a person like this and you don't argue, you don't fight, fuss, get into any type of altercation, you just silently just be out, then people are going to now wonder if you were everything this person said, if you were this huge troublemaker, if you were the one starting all these problems, if you were the one that was creating all the issues and everything was your fault, then why would you leave, not say anything, and not stick around? to cause more problems. So when you leave, that's when you have to be careful, because they'll send more people out to try to reel you back in, so that way this person doesn't have to suffer a character assassination, because people will eventually figure out that this person was no good. And that's what people are starting to do, because after you went no contact, people begin to fall back from this person. People begin to not trust them, and to become a little suspect, because all the things you were saying were now coming to light, because after you left, now they have to find another victim. They have to find someone that is unsuspecting of them, someone that they can now manipulate, and they may have to alter their manipulation. Maybe this person might be aware, maybe this person might be able to tell, so now they have to alter it, change it. And these people can shapeshift. All right, they can get around people, they can have conversations. This is why they're always talking to people. This is why they're always seeming to be able to get in where they can fit in, and not in a positive way, but to use people for their energy. So now that you're not around, this person is now looking for others. All right, this person is now trying to do the same thing they did to you to other people around you, and you've warned them about it. And they're now starting to see. You went to them, tried to get help, and they didn't believe you, or they didn't know what to do. Now, because you're not around, they're starting to see this person's side, because this person has to act this way to people, because it's a chemical that they need. It's like a drug, treating people like this, because it makes them feel better than they would naturally. All right, it's like exercise. It's like an actual punching bag that they're hitting. When you go punch a punching bag, you relieve stress, you feel relaxed, you feel good, you just worked out. They feel a certain way when they use people as a punching bag. It's like they get the false impression that they're working out their problems, and that they're working out their issues, when they're really not. Because we all know that calling somebody else something, or making somebody else's life miserable, it doesn't do anything for us. We know it doesn't make our lives better, excuse me. But there are people who are dependent upon other people being dependent upon them. So it's just one big one. That's why it's called trauma bonding. It's just one big continuous loop of trauma. This person's hurting, they make other people hurt, and they continuously need to make other people feel hurt, so that way they could not feel hurt for a little bit. And that's why it's like a drug. They are able to harm someone, feel good for a few hours or whatever time, until the time passes to where they need to hurt someone again. So they need to go hit the bag some more. Like, it's crazy. But you didn't want to be their bag anymore. All right, and you were their bag in more ways than one. It drains you emotionally, it drains you mentally, it drains you spiritually, it drains you physically. And these are things that you did your best to avoid. And all you were trying to do is figure out why you felt so off around this person, and why you would always not feel good after being around them. But if you continue to go around people who you don't feel good around, it's going to make you go nuts, and you'll lose your mind, all for trying to do what's right and hold on to someone that is causing you harm. And now people are beginning to rethink everything. They're beginning to look at this person in a totally different light. They thought this person was positive. They thought this person was about something. They thought this person was loving and caring and, God fearing. But now they're beginning to see that there was something off as well. they're not the only ones who can tell. Others are starting to go no contact with them also, because they're starting to see that this person got some stuff with them. And you have to let people see it for themselves. You tried, and the one thing about it is you still didn't have anything bad to say about them. And that's what's good. They'll drive you into retaliating in the same forms as them. They'll make you want to say something bad to them. They'll make you want to talk bad about them. They'll make you want to do something to them. And they're about drama, and they take people who they know don't want to go there. They deal with people who they know don't want to argue, don't want to fight. Who wants to argue and who wants to fight? There are some people out there that want to argue and that want to fight. Those things are supposed to just happen, in the sense of, like, no one wants to argue, but sometimes it happens. No one wants to get into a fight unless they have to, or unless, some guys or whatever just playing around, or, you know, um, just enjoying themselves or having fun, or men just, guys just being guys kind of thing, or people in general just playing around, which is nothing wrong with. You're supposed to enjoy life and play around, but you're not supposed to beat up on other people until they actually physically want to do something. You're not supposed to push people to a point to where now they want to get into something with you. I know there are some people that live like that. They're like, hey, I don't see nothing wrong with that. That, to me personally, I mean, to each his own, but that's toxic. I don't mind, wrestling or a little play fighting with the cousins, or, little you and chilling with your peoples, and, it's a little slap box. Of course, that might turn into something else, but then you get up, shake it off, shake hands, and then y'all back to just chilling again. But when people are actually trying to, all this manipulation is going to destroy a person, and it's going to cause someone to just, it's going to turn somebody's world upside down. All right, a little play fighting here and there, a little, you know playing around, horsing around with your people, that's actually going to make you feel better and enjoy life. Not saying you gotta black nobody's eye or nothing, but a little playing around with friends and family is good. You're supposed to be able to. That's how some people, that's how some people are, and I understand that too. But what I'm talking about is when things get toxic and someone is trying to bring you to an early grave with their behavior because of how stressful it is and how harmful it is to your mind and body. That's what we're talking about. All right. So enjoy your, playtime with family and friends, and continue to have a good time with those that you love. All right. But everybody's going no contact now with this person, because you leaving was a red flag. You leaving was a clear sign that maybe they should start to consider what you were telling them as true. Maybe maybe they should start consider, maybe even if they don't see what you said as true, maybe they should start investigating. But either way, they better do something, because sooner or later they're going to be able to tell, and hopefully before it's too late. Because these people use vampirism. They will suck a person dry of their energy from the stress of having to deal with them. And they know that they're difficult, but like I said, they will choose people who they know don't want to get into anything. They'll choose people who would want to talk it out versus get into an altercation. They'll choose people who will want to work something out versus, oh, this is it. That's how you're doing it. Oh, you're done. But they push you to that point. They push you to not giving them any more chances. They push you to it being done over immediately, not playing around, just out. They'll push you to that point, and they also choose people who are unaware. But if you're unaware of this type of behavior that's happening to you, and nobody else can tell because it's covert, sooner or later you're just going to have to end up seeing it yourself. And it's something that you just come to the realization is, because it's not like they walk around with a shirt on or a print on their forehead that says, hello, hi, I'm a narcissist. It's they're not doing that. So if nobody else can see it, and it's happening to you and you can't even see it, then it's just something that you end up having to tell over time that has happened to you. But as we say on this channel, things don't happen to us, or not only happen to us, they happen for us. And we go through these things because God wants us to learn. God wants us to be able to pick up game and info to be able to protect ourselves and save ourselves from future run-ins with these kind of individuals. And usually a lot of people who go through these things are going to end up in very high places. They're going to end up very successful, and they're going to have to use these experiences from life to climb their way up the ladder to success, to be able to avoid certain pitfalls and other uh, ordealings with different kinds of people, because there are all different types of people. You got empaths, you got narcissists, you got good people, you got people who are not so good, you have people who don't want to be good, you got people who think it's cool to behave like this because it'll make them some friends, and it'll make them seem powerful and cool. And I'm not trying to take anybody's cool away from them, but you're going to take your cool away from them by keeping your cool and by taking your cool self to where you feel better at. All right. So nobody is like, this person is going to end up a lot. This is why certain people end up alone. And hopefully, we want to wish the best for people, but people like this sometimes end up alone, because what they'll do is they end up driving all the people who were for them away from them. And they end up, some of these people will even drive away the last person that they have. They'll end up all by themselves. They'll end up alone with nobody. And now they'll have the nerve to say no one cares about them, and this is their new thing, and this is how they gain new people to, and they go from manipulating the people around them to, when they scare all them away, now they're looking for flesh blood. Now they're looking for fresh victims. This is why this is why there are people who are, you know, this is why there are some people in some predicaments to where there's nobody around them. There's nobody to help them, and they may be in need. Hopefully they're not. Hopefully, God willing, they're healthy, wealthy, and everything that has to do with that. But sometimes these people will end up alone, end up in bad situations to where there's no one there for them, and people are just so flabbergasted and just don't know why, until they spend some time around them and they start to see and figure it out. But the whole agenda is to make you feel bad, to make you feel guilty, to make you not leave, because if you do, then you're going to go be free and be able to enjoy yourself and be away from the type of treatment they want to take you through. All right. They're not going to be able to hit the bag anymore. And like I always say, it's like taking a child's toy away. It's like, a child playing with a toy. You take it from them, they're going to cry, throw a temper tantrum, scream, stomp, yell, fall on the floor, roll around. They're going to behave that way. So now people are starting to see their behavior, all right, for what it is. They're starting to see that this person is but they're starting to see that this is not the type of person to be around. And you leaving was a major sign of that. They're like, wow, he stopped talking to them. Wow, she stopped talking to them. She doesn't deal with them anymore. He doesn't deal with them anymore. And they will make it seem like it's something wrong with you, because they don't want people to suspect them of who they are. So if they can convince others that you're off, you need medicine, you need help, is something wrong with you, then they can dodge the bullet and further scapegoat you and further manipulate others into believing that they're somebody that they're not. And they have levels of showing people they're behind, and they, depending on the type of person they're around, they do it in a way to where the person can't see it. So they're going to keep doing this to people until they just run everybody away, and they keep pushing people away from them until there's no one there. So keep being the good person that you are. All right. Keep being wise. Keep removing yourself from harmful situations. You only have one life, and keep putting God first in your life. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. Smash that like button, smash that share button. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. We out.